Embiid and LeBron have nothing wrong with them. The reason I'm putting Embiid lower is because LeBron, it's because he's missing games. And like I said, all of those players have done amazing. And there's a case for all of them to win, but like I said, if you don't give it to LeBron in 2018 when he dominated in every stat, he didn't win enough. That was the excuse. So I'm giving it to LeBron or Embiid. That's a toss-up. Whatever you want to say. Give it to LeBron or Embiid. Alright. So, how far are we into this podcast here? 15, 16 minutes? Alright. So, I still got a couple topics left. I'm gonna explain why Curry should not, or why Curry deserves to win MVP, but unfortunately will not have will not meet the criteria to contend. And I will also I'm going to elaborate on why the Bills and Browns should not extend Mayfield and Allen just yet. No. I think they do extend them, but not just yet. And then also, I'll talk more about splitting from the Texans. So, Cam Newton says he would be happy to return to the Patriots. Now, I like Cam. I do. 2015 MVP. I think he's done a pretty good job in the NFL. I'm not saying he's Hall of Famer, but he's not a terrible quarterback. He's looking rough the last couple of years, especially the second half of this year. But I'd give him one more year. I mean, I've said this. I don't think the Pats are any better without Brady. I predicted this year, and I think I perfectly predicted it this year. The Bucs go 10-6, and the Pats go 8-8. I could not have nailed that any better than I did. That was a prediction, and the reason I predicted that is because the Pats had a lot of opt-outs. Their defense was opting out. Their receivers were opting out. So let's give Newton the year of him. He has a full roster. He has Belichick, who we think is the best coach ever. And if he can't succeed with it when Brady did, then he's not your answer. And you're not going to find an equal answer to Tom Brady. I mean, that man is on a... He's on his own level. I don't think he'll ever be 2015 Cam again. I mean, I thought that was amazing, what he did. And people criticize him like, oh, he just ran. It's kind of like what happened with Lamar Jackson. But Lamar had 36 touchdowns last year as well, and Newton, I don't know what he did in 2015, I forget. I remember heavily defending him, and then heavily rooting against him in the playoffs, and then switching it back to him in the Super Bowl, and then they lost, and I got really mad. But still, I don't think he'll ever be like that again. I doubt it. I know he's 31. It's younger than people think. He's 31. But give him one more year. If he can't get it done, move on. So, I've seen a bunch of articles. Should Steph and LeBron should the MVP be Steph or LeBron? Like I said, I really, really don't think wins should matter in the MVP race at all. I really don't. But they do. I think the only other person that can compete with LeBron is Embiid, and Embiid is a big contender. I think Steph is number 3. The reason I don't think Steph will win is because in the past 10 years, the MVP has been a 1 or 2 seed, except for Westbrook in 17. And that year, Westbrook was the first person in a half century to average a triple-double, and he won the scoring title. So I'm going to walk you through, each MVP LeBron is contended for. So there were a couple MVPs early in his career that he contended for against, like, Steve Nash and Kobe. Some people think he was robbed of that. I personally think it was Kobe or Steve Nash's to lose. So I don't think LeBron deserved that one. So then he won it in 09 and 2010. Then in 11, he had a chance to three-peat, which only Larry Bird has done. Not even Michael Jordan three-peated in MVPs. So LeBron had a chance to do that, and Derrick Rose won it. And LeBron had Derrick Rose beaten in those statistical categories. And then he lost to Derrick Rose. He had Rose beaten in a lot of categories, but the excuse was, we hate LeBron for going to Miami. People will probably kill us if we give him the MVP. And also, Rose was a top seed. So, 2012-2013, LeBron wins it. 2014, Kevin Durant wins it. He averaged 33 points a game. The Thunder, I don't remember what the Thunder did, but KD deserved that over LeBron, I think, by a nose. But 2015 comes. LeBron goes back to the Cavs. The Cavs, right? So the Cavs. So the Cavs. So here's. So the Cavs, without LeBron, 19 and 63, 21 and 45 in the lockout season, 24 and 58, 33 and 49. They were one of the worst. They were the worst. That's one of the worst 4-year runs ever. Like I mentioned how J.J. Watt had probably the best 4-year run ever by a defensive end. And the Cavs. I'm going to do some math on the fly real quick. So hold on. All right. So they had 49 plus 58 plus 45 plus 63. 9 plus 58 plus 45 plus 63. All right. So that's 4 seasons. So that is 215 losses in the last 4 years. 215 losses. That's 54 losses. So, average record 28 and 54. That ain't too good there, is it? And that includes the buyout, the lockout season. So, they weren't doing too hot here. And Steph had been the centerpiece around building the Warriors back up. And Steph in the season, 6th in points, 6th in assists. He was not top 3 in any category statistically. LeBron, I don't even know if he was top 3, but when you look at what they did, LeBron took the worst team in the league to a 53-win season and to the NBA Finals. But Curry won it. Why did he win it? And LeBron was also the 2 seed as well, because I know a lot of people use the excuse, it's the regular season MVP, not playoff. So okay, let's exclude the finals argument. So the other argument, the 2 seed, the worst team in the league to a 2 seed, and it all came from adding LeBron. Now, the excuse here was, oh, the Hawks won more, Steph won 67 games, and Steph was the reason they won it. But look at the rosters, and what LeBron did was more impressive. But the excuse was more wins, and he's the best player on the best team. So Steph is phenomenal. I'm not sorry. I know sometimes when I speak, it sounds like I'm criticizing someone. I'm not criticizing Steph in any way. I'm not even criticizing Derrick Rose's 2011 season, you know. I'm not criticizing anything. I'm also not criticizing Harden's 2018 season. I mean, they were amazing. Like, it's phenomenal. But, and this is not a knock on any of them, but they won because of wins. Steph is phenomenal. It's not a knock on him. I honestly think, as a LeBron fan, wins should not matter in the MVP race. You should look at what they're doing and how impressive it is. I think Steph should be number 2 or even number 1 in this MVP race because of what he's done. But if you're not going to give it to LeBron in 2015 or 2018, then don't give it to Curry now. Just because we all love Curry. I don't think wins should matter in the MVP race. Like I said, you heard me say this about Rodgers versus Mahomes. But the reality is that we're always going to talk about wins in the MVP race. So as much as I think Curry is more valuable than LeBron this year, as much as it pains me to say it, LeBron's going to win it. Because people always say it's about the wins. And like I said, I think Curry should win it, but I'm going to LeBron. If I'm going to be really mad if you give it to Steph this year instead of LeBron, because it's contradicting yourself. It's like it's hypercritical. So all right. We got some more. I should probably put music on here. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just going to put music in at random times just because I do want this to be a little more entertaining and I don't want it to be over the top. So I'm going to just put it in once in a while. So here we go. So Stafford says requesting trade was one of the hardest conversations he's had. And I love that he left, and I think this was the perfect timing. I mean, because he did give them 12 years, and that's a reasonable amount of time. You know, it's not like, he was being patient with it. I'm glad he did that. And he's only 32, despite how long it seems like he's been in the league. He's only 32. He has a couple more years left. So I think the timing's perfect. And the great thing about this is it's a win-win. Because the Lions did have to hit the reset button and rebuild. So getting the picks and Jared Goff was good. And now Stafford is on a Super Bowl contender with some good offensive weapons. Along with statistically the best defense in the league. With the best defensive end in the league. And a phenomenal coach. So this is a win-win. Anthony Davis says he's being careful of the Achilles injury. I am a little concerned about about injury problems. But being cautious is the way to go. It's the way to put you in the best position to repeat. Because if you rush him, he can miss a month and a half, come playoff time. And you have LeBron, so you're never dead in the water. But it's a big hit, because like I said, you need teammates to win. So as great as LeBron is, you're not going to win the title without Anthony Davis helping LeBron. So, you're not dead in the water without Davis, but you want to be cautious about this, definitely. And you're lucky it's the regular season right now, because you've got LeBron and you're going to continue to win games. And you're not playing anyone crazy good right now, so you don't have to worry. And even if you lose a couple games, you're still going to be like top 3, top 4 in the West. And then when Davis comes back, you can steamroll. So this is the right way to go. Be as cautious as you can now. But if it gets out of hand, I mean, you're going to have to